Hello viewers, welcome to Daily Politics. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I'm Hamza Idris. On Tidbits, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Most Reverend Matthew Kuka, delivered a strong Easter message in which he called on Nigerians to take action and reclaim their country from the current administration. He criticized the state of affairs in Nigeria under President Muhammadu Buhari's leadership and highlighted the failure of the political class to address the country's challenges, including the electoral system, hate speech, and corruption. Bishop Kuka also commended President Buhari for recognizing that his criticisms were not out of malice, but a desire to see Nigeria reach its full potential. He emphasized the urgent need for the incoming president to focus on social justice, equality, and respect for human rights, rather than just infrastructure and political promises. And elsewhere, still on Easter, the Sultan of Sokoto, who is also the President General of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, has urged the President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Daniel Oko, to work together with the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs to combat hate speech and prevent pastors and imams from using their platforms for political purposes. In a statement issued by the Deputy Secretary General of Nigeria Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, Professor Salisu Shehu, the Sultan also extended his congratulations to CAN leaders and Christians in Nigeria on the occasion of the 2023 Easter celebration. He highlighted the significance of Easter to promoting spiritual renewal and religious awakening, and expressed hope that the occasion will help redirect attention to shared values and ideals of fasting, love, prayer, penance, and cooperation. On the program tonight, we will be speaking with Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf. He is the senator representing Taraba Central Senatorial District. He joined us to discuss a variety of issues in the polity, from his home state Taraba to internal issues in his party, the All Progressives Congress, and also national issues. He will be sharing his plans, chances, as well as his thoughts on other national issues. Welcome to the program, distinguished Senator.
Thank you very much.
We're happy
nice
to
be
have you,
here
Ramadan
again.
Karim.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Ramadan Karim.
We'll go on a quick break now, and when we return, the conversation commences. Don't go away. Welcome back. Distinguished Senator, to start with the Easter messages, you heard what Father Kuka said, that Nigerians should reclaim their country. Is the country somewhere?
Well, thank you very much. By and large, you know, I think I share the same thought with the Reverend Father, for the simple reason. I don't know where things went wrong. In this country today, you know, I think we have lost some of our sense of purpose and direction in terms of living together as brothers and sisters in this country. People think that the only way you can live together is when money is applied. But we have thrown away, you know, decorum. We have thrown away trust. We have thrown away, you know, humility, you know, to the winds. You have no respect for elders any longer, whether in politics or whether in the social fabric, or the only respect people know, by and large, is economic and finance.
Oh my God.
And it shouldn't be, and that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. You know, he has been fearless since the beginning of his administration, 8 years. And when I was going through his speech, he said, but he was happy that one time when they met with the president, you know, jokingly said, you are one of my critics. But it's like he has no apology for that.
Most of his own critical, you know, analysis of issues, you know, at least openly, there is nothing, you know, that is highly personal or that is highly, you know, it's really an in-depth critical analysis of what things are happening. For instance, if we talk about, the political leadership of this country, people think that it's Muhammad Buhari that is the political leader of this country.
And that is not correct.
No, he's one of. He's one of. He alone cannot make a forest. Therefore, the political leadership is a combination of President Muhammad Buhari. You are other stakeholders in the polity. We say there are people in power and there are also people in government.
Yes.
Muhammad Buhari, is a person in government. There are so many people that are in power. And unless if you sit down and recognize the fact that, people in power play majorly what the people in government should do, and not the people in government that will want the people in power to do. So,
are you talking about technocrats vis-a-vis elected officials? Or?
No, I'm talking beyond just technocrats.
Okay.
The people in power are the people who do a thick, who make decisions, and not decisions, but who make pronouncements, who play behind the scene as how things should move forward.
Okay. And behind every leader, there are those people.
So there are those people, no doubt about it. There's no person, no leader is an island. Yes, he may have, well, I'm the leader, things, stop at on my table, but certainly there are people or group of people that he cannot say no to whatever they advise.
Yes.
That is for the unity of the country.
Yes, I'm quoting him now. He said, Nigeria's most pressing need is not infrastructure, but rather ensuring the safety and well-being of Nigerians. People will say there is a problem with this to some extent, but this is what he said.
For me, there's no problem, because people talk about dividend of democracy, and people think that is providing power, light, roads, that is dividend of democracy. That is not. Democracy is conscience. You develop the conscience of people, and I think that is what he's talking about. It is conscience of people. Develop that conscience of people to behave in a democratic way, to be law-abiding, and what have you.
Secure their lives.
And even people that, want people to go to court, people go to court unnecessarily because the courts have become, tools for manipulation.
Oh my God.
And that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Nigerians are frustrated, and they are not thinking of getting justice in the courts.
Yeah. He now advised the incoming president that his urgent mission should be to create a large tent of opportunity and hope for Nigerians, because many Nigerians have lost hope due to maybe insecurity, lack of jobs, lack of economic opportunities, and all that.
Yes, much beyond that. Like I said, it's conscience. People, by and large, have sold their conscience. You take your money, you buy somebody's conscience. What he's doing is wrong. It's against the position that he's occupying. But because, some incentives have gone to him to buy his conscience, and he abused the conscience. And abusing of conscience is undemocratic, unreligious, and even immoral. So why would you abuse your conscience only to make it, what do you call it, to affect negatively another person? Why can't you do the right thing? Come on, go and do the right thing. What is it? Especially, the Muslims and the Christians. They are guided people. We are guided by our prophets, we are guided by our books, and not by our minds. If we say we are going to follow our minds, against the guidance, that's why we have all these problems.
That's why we have all these problems. I see his Easter speech as valedictory of sort, because he took, sectors by sectors, and I found them very interesting, and that's why we found you the right person to maybe to dissect some of these things. He said there are evidences that we have returned to our old ways. He's now referring to just concluded elections. He said voter suppression, ballot box snatching, intimidation, physical violence against ordinary citizens, with reported incidents of injuries and outright killings. Amidst all these, there's utter chaos around the uploading and transfer of the results. INEC's garment of legitimacy and credibility was now caught up in a barbed wire of conspiracy theories.
Perfect. He has said it very, very
Is
right.
it that he captures your mind?
This is what I have been saying all along. I mean, we have this theory of beavers.
Yes.
The beaver is the master. Beavers is the everything.
Yeah.
The beaver is going to solve all the problem, but beavers has come to do what? What is the role that beavers has played today? Just to accredit. When you go to vote, there's beaver by the side, and the
IRF.
They register by the side. So you go to the beaver, they tick. What's the difference?
They are doing the same thing.
That's what the card reader was used for.
So you think that there was no much improvement in your expectation as a senator of the Federal Republic of
Yes,
Nigeria?
no, my expectation was that beaver that we are talking about is a combination of so many softwares in it that will do A, B, C, D, and E. But it turned out to be what is done is to accredit. That is the only thing that the beavers, with all the money that is spent on beavers, and with all the diverting of the attention of if Nigerians had known this is the kind of beavers that we are going to use, I'm sure we may not have the kind of election that we have today. They will be more critical than what is happening today. You know,
We think we gave so much confidence, but INEC said, including some election observers, that the beavers performed over 90%. Where they had issues was the IRF, and even the IRF, it's the presidential election component. For the National Assembly, State Assembly, governorship, it also performed optimally.
It's just probably the uploading, that is all. Otherwise, you know, what the beaver has done is what you can do by the register.
There is nothing automatic there.
Yes, you are, the register
Tick
there.
and
So it's this one that you put your fingernail, it captures you, it is you. But when it comes to register, you know, it is the man that will decide, oh, is it you or me?
Yeah.
But in case of Viva, it is the machine that will say, yes, it's you. I think otherwise, you know, I think that there are so many advantages or so many things in that beaver that ought to have been built in.
Okay.
So that it will do meaningfully well. But what it has done, I think it has done, for me, it has done less than 10% of what it should do.
Distinguished Senator.
Yes, I'm not a technical person, but if you say...
You think its potentials were not fully...
They were not.
Who should we blame for this?
Well, I think for me, you know, whoever, you know, INEC has negotiated with, you know, I think the money that was budgeted for the beavers is to have all these potentials. And only, you know, for the potential to be, you know, minimized.
If you have your way to call for audit of the spending on the beavers, IRF and all that, will you call for that?
I wouldn't mind doing that because, you know, there's a big budget that has been approved for that. So the technical people should come out today and tell us, is the beavers or the standards that was supposed to have been built in beavers is what has been put in the beavers for the election that have passed. I think we need to look into it because this is our lives, this is our future.
And we shouldn't allow maybe the electoral empire to always go away with whatever they do being independent. That we should also scrutinize them post-election so that ahead of the next election, they should get certain things
I
right.
think yes. You see, they say respect should be earned, respect should not be imposed. And if INEC should earn the respect of independence.
Okay, so it's not a la carte as
it's not like
say.
Okay, you know, the executive cannot influence or this, that is. No. The independence should be right down. The independence of their conscience, of the people.
They should do things right. If they are not right, they should be questioned.
Yes, the electoral act of 2022 has given them enormous powers to do A, B, C, D, and E. But they decided not to. They decided to stay aside. Whatever happened, go to court. Whatever happens, go to court. Whatever happens, go to
where
court.
you're heading to.
And therefore, you know, what is the use of the electoral act? What is the use of the...
It's not everything that should be referred to court.
Yeah, exactly. If
some people should be held to account.
Yes, if somebody is not satisfied with INEC is doing, then that person should go to court. And not INEC to say, no.
Go to
we
court.
have done our own. If you are not satisfied, go to court. For instance, the review, the 7 days review of the result by the returning officers. What has happened to it? After the review, what happened? They now say after the review, you go to court. What is that? Take your position. The law has given you the powers to do that. Let somebody go to court and sue you.
It's not that everything the court must interpret.
Exactly.
Whatever happens.
Yes. So I think was it one legal luminary that was saying that INEC is not using the powers that it's supposed to use under the Act. It is not everything that it should stand, to mean, okay, if we want INEC to be independent, then let it be independent entirely. And then we remove, all the issues that are related to INEC. All the
technicalities that impede.
But INEC will go to court and defend what they have done when they knew that some of their staff, did not do the right thing.
I understand.
And only because these people, let's give them the result, let them go to court. I think that's begging for answer.
Okay, second to the last on Kuka. He said that he was telling Buhari that as you return to Daura or Kaduna, I do not know if you feel fulfilled or that you met the tall dreams and goals you set for yourself, such as ending banditry, defeating corruption, bringing back our girls, belonging to everybody and belonging to nobody, selling off our presidential fleet and traveling with us.
Thank you very much.
It's like he's asking some pertinent questions and questioning some of the promises made by the president.
President Muhammad Buhari said he has done all what he is supposed to have done.
But is it true?
Yes, as far as his conscience is concerned.
But to you, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and as citizen of this country, do you think he has done...
Before I answer your question, there's a difference between Muhammad Buhari and President Muhammad Buhari.
Okay. Maybe I should understand
So
this.
Now, if you are talking about President Muhammad Buhari, it's beyond Muhammad Buhari. It's Muhammad Buhari plus A, B, C, D, E, F.
The responsibilities...
Exactly. So he has appointed a minister, and then we are operating a presidential, a federal structure. If we are operating a federal structure, when it comes to security, the governors are the chief securities of their states. The governors have also swore that they are going to protect life and property. Every person that is swearing the oath of office is going to protect life and property in this country.
But distinguished, we expected him, as he promised, that when he comes, he will solve insecurity. He will tackle the rot in the economy and all that. And I think Kuka is talking from that perspective.
As Muhammad Buhari, he has done it. But maybe as President Muhammad Buhari, he has not fulfilled what he promised. And why didn't he do that?
Okay, why?
It's because the other people, the other components have not lived up to the expectation.
How do you mean distinguish?
I give you an example.
Okay.
One is appointed a minister. You have your conscience to administer well. Do you require, Muhammad Buhari to come and do your work as minister?
Okay.
You are elected as governor of your state. Okay, you have sworn in. Do you expect Muhammad Buhari to come to your state and say that you should implement what you have sworn in?
Most of the governors, they ask for state police. They have been denied.
Yes, why? What police for? Have they even met the basic minimum requirements of providing education, providing health, providing water, providing good roads? Have they done that?
So they have failed.
Of course, in my own opinion, they have done their best, but there is much more that needs to be done.
All right. But he said to the incoming president that, of course, he was saying that the president should secure lives and property before talking about infrastructure. Is that a good counsel?
Well, protecting life and property is a combination of so many things. Even the citizens have a role in helping the government to protect lives and property. So these bandits that they are talking about, these informants they are talking, are they not within us? Many of us know the bandits. Go to Zamfara. They tell you they know the bandits. They know the informants. Why wouldn't the citizens, come up and help government to solve the problem?
So it's a collective responsibility.
It is a collective responsibility, sir.
Distinguished.
That's what I'm telling you. President Muhammad Buhari plus.
So many responsibilities to almost everyone.
Exactly.
Now let's move to Sultan before we go to Taraba State. His own counsel at Easter was that Khan should talk to pastors. And I think that's what he has been doing, talking to clerics, not to actually meddle into politics too much. Is this also a wise counsel from the Sultan?
Excellent one.
And to what extent have they impacted on our polity, especially during this election?
Well, fine, because I think I could remember there was one pastor who even knelt down to ask for forgiveness. It was Father Mbaka. Yes, he said, why did the church go all the way into politics? So why, some of even our clerics will go into, politics? He said the altar was desecrated. Exactly. By pastors, so this is what is happening. People veer into areas that they are not competent to talk about. I'm a politician, you are a cleric. So let us sit down and understand one another, and not you to come and tell me how I can do my politics. So their role this election season is that they polarize the society more, or they unite the society? No, I think they polarize more, to be very, very honest, because there are so many harsh words, there are so many bad words that have come. I'm from Taraba. Everybody knew how sensitive the issue of Taraba has been. Even the issue of the woman, contesting governorship in Adamawa. Yeah, which is part of what we will discuss. So a lot of people come with, if you are going to give a counsel, give counsel in such a way that it will make meaning and it will bring value and change, and not outrightly calling out other people, condemnation, outright, abuse and what have you. I say we are guided people. The Quran and the Bible has actually given us ways in which, we are guided. How we talk, how we speak, how we eat, how we bath, how we relate with people, how even we do our reading. The Quran and the religions are what? They're a complete way of life. So if you say that, oh, okay, this thing is different from what I think it should be, then in my own opinion, I think you are not doing the right thing. But should the cleric take the whole blame, considering that they are also humans and they are being influenced by the political class, people like you? You visit them to say, okay, Imam, I want you to talk to the congregants that they should vote for me because I am ABC. That is why I say Imam is guided by the Quran. So he shouldn't take whatever you tell him. Exactly. So if I tell him, then he will now reason, sit down and see what has the Quran, what has God said, what has my prophet said, what has our luminaries have said. How do I tackle this? Do I tackle this from my own mind, or I should tackle it from the way I am guided? It is not everything that a politician comes and tell a cleric to do. A cleric will go there and begin to shout, in the sermons. No. So how do we now mend fences? How do we reconcile? Because as you rightly said, the society, the whole country is polarized along religious lines. Let me quote what my late, head of state said, Murtala Muhammad. Okay. When he created state, he said, the more we create state, the more we highlight the problems of minorities. The only permanent safeguard the more we create states, the more we highlight the problems of minorities. Wow. So the only permanent safeguard against that is to learn to live together as Nigerians. Not creating entities. And all exactly. So we are Muslims, we have Christians, we are, different tribal groups, we are Nigerians. It is the Nigerian factor that binds us together. So it is that factor that we should explore for the betterment of our relationship. And not to say, okay, I am a Christian. If God wants, everybody will be a Christian in this world. If God wants, everybody will be a Muslim in this world. So, but He made us different to understand one another and not to hate one another. It is the understanding that we are beginning to build hatred within, and that is manipulation. It's manipulation of religion, manipulation of ethnicity, for the selfish ends. Yeah. So, what should the incoming leaders do from the national to the state level? Because you can see many of them rode on the back of religion to get to where they are, and their followers are already, pumping these, ideas to them that
you have to take the pound of flesh of the other side.
You know, I don't know between Ahmadu Bello, blessed memory, Zik or Awolo, when they were talking about, I don't know who among them said, let us forget our differences.
I think it was...
when Sir Ahmadu Bello said, no, there's no way we can forget our differences. I will not forget that I'm a Muslim. I will not forget that I'm a Fulani man. You will not forget about it, that you are an Igbo man or a Christian. But let us explore the relation and understand one another within the context of...
What are our strengths?
Exactly.
That we can pull together.
Let us exploit, you know, the strength so that we can build, you know, an enduring, you know, a relationship.
Okay, so it may be so the elected officials at national and subnational levels should look at their new calling from this prism.
Yes, you know, especially, you know, when this one, you know, coming from Taraba, this one coming from Lagos, from Sokoto, you know, at the National Assembly.
Yes.
You know, you have people coming of varied background, varied educational levels, varied, you know, our cultures, varied customs. But there's one thing that is binding us, we are all Nigerians. And Nigeria as a factor, you know, it has its own laws and regulations, whether they are written or unwritten. There are some of our customs that are virtually the same.
Yes.
You know, so we respect elders. So if we respect elders, we will not come to National Assembly and be fighting the elders in a harsh way. You know, we pass laws in this country that not too young to run. Did we do that because we are afraid of the young ones? Wouldn't the young ones, you don't need the experience of the elders? I think it was Maitama Sule who said, you know, when you have you need the experience of the elder, and you need the agileness of the young, and then you put together. That is where
the
you
strength
have
and the focus.
No youth will come and succeed without the elders. Neither will the elders continue without the agileness of the youth. So we need to build in this and build it in a positive way, and not to build it in a negative way that, you know, okay, the elders people, they are archaic, you know, go, leave this zone, leave this. It will not work. I give you an example. In southern Sudan, you know, when Southern Sudan became independent, what happened?
Serious frontier of chaos.
Nigeria suggested that the elders should now midwife the new country for a short period of time. The younger ones who said, no, we are the freedom fighters, we are the people fighting, and so we have to take. Up till now, they have no peace.
As if they should even return the freedom given to them.
Exactly. So we need these things. We need to understand. We need to appreciate one another. We need to respect one another. I mean, there is no parent that will abuse, you know, that will castigate, you know, the younger ones. You are going to build, you are going to mentor, but let the mentorship be in a civilized form, not in a modern form. You know, in my own opinion, there are some of the things that we do, we are becoming more and more modern and less civilized.
Oh my God, it's like the digging of the well, the proverbial.
I can give you an example, but with due respect to women. You know, this hair that we buy and put.
The wig.
The wig. It's a modern thing, but is it a civilized form?
Wow,
why will you hide your identity? Is it civilization?
Wow, distinguished Senator, thank you very much. We will go on a break, and when we return, we move to Taraba.
Thank you.
Viewers, don't go away.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Inherited a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. I still have Senator Yusuf, who represents Taraba Central in the Senate, in the studio. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you had issues in APC in Taraba right from the primaries where you vied for the ticket. Unfortunately, the elections have come and gone. Can you blame the internal wrangling in APC as what cost you the governorship election in Taraba?
Well, I don't want to use the word blame. I think, there's a lot of communication gaps. But I use the word blame in the sense that the leadership, the national leadership of APC did not do the right thing.
Okay, you are taking the blame to the national headquarters now.
Yes, I said it on the 27th of May that whatever that had happened to Taraba, the blame is with the national headquarters.
What did they do?
You see, when people, bring out their money, they bought their forms, they're eligible members of the political party. Give them their due respect.
Were you not respected by the national?
No, as a candidate, I was not respected, or the candidates were not respected.
Is it that they don't want you to vie for the governorship?
Well, maybe court and on court, that is what they don't want, but really, if you say you are going to conduct primary election for your bona fide members who have contributed resources, who have built this party over a period of time, you should be non-partisan. You should give them the opportunity to see who you are appointing to go and conduct the election. You should appoint people of impeccable character, people who are going to do the right thing, people who are not going to be riff-rats. How can, the chairman of the political party appoint his own DG during his own political campaign to become the chairman of the party to go and conduct primaries?
Meaning there is an interest somewhere.
Of course there's an interest. There is an interest. But even with that, we say, okay, let's go and do it. But what happened? They couldn't do the primaries. They ran back, and because they failed to
Are you making reference to the first declaration of Senator Emmanuel Bacha?
Yes. And we know it was faulty.
Because you have said this not once, not twice.
There was no primaries. How did it happen?
But at the end of the day, he was the one on the ballot. Well, how did you arrive at that?
Well, that is Nigeria for you. This thing went to Supreme Court, and at the Supreme Court said, the party is delisted as far as governorship is concerned. The candidate is not, eligible to contest. Look at Section 84 of Section 13 of the Electoral Act of 2022. It's very, very clear. But you see what happened in a Nigerian way. They went through the back door. The 14 days notice given to us, to do at the initial court. They now did it after coming from Supreme Court. It is an abuse of judicial process. The Supreme Court said, don't do that. They did it. That is contempt of court. And it is only in Nigeria you have, people that are Democrat are not followers of the rule of law.
Are you pained by the outcome? Now PDP has taken it. So many things are at stake now. The clamor for power shift is no longer there, and APC is now coming out, a bruised political party of such.
Yes, you see, sometimes when things like this happen, and you have now learned in a big way, in a better way, or in a worse way, I don't know. When we were telling them that this thing that they want to do will not work, we have the grassroots. We know what is in the grassroots.
You think Bacha, who stood as the candidate, was not competent enough to win, to defeat other contenders?
We have seen it today. Out of 16 local government, with all the rigmarole, with all the support of the national headquarters, with all the support of the state headquarters, what is it? He got only 2 local governments out of 16. Is that the kind of...
He kept distant thought, because I think even NNPP got more votes than...
Yes. With due respect to him, I think he said that not once, not twice, that he's going to win. He's going to win. So did he win?
Is it euphoria of fake assurance?
You know, so anyway, people are so desperate that they can tell bundle of lies. They can say a lot of things as to think that of convincing people that they are on the ground. Everybody knew, but they refused to accept the fact that, with due respect, Senator Emmanuel Bacha was not on the ground.
I was appalled when he turned out to be among the first people who congratulated the governor.
Exactly.
Did you expect something from him?
I expected that. You know why?
No.
Simple. You know, when with due respect to Emmanuel Bacha, when he came to APC, he did not come with one single member of PDP executive. No.
When he left the PDP for APC.
So if you are the minority leader in the Senate, and you are leaving your party
to another party,
of course it is expected that you will come with a lot of followers.
Yeah, goodwill and all that.
So as far as I'm concerned, with due respect to him, I've told him a couple of times that you did not come to add value in APC, you have come to share value. Because if you had come to bring in value, then your ward executive of PD would have followed you. Your local government, even if not all, but a big chunk would have followed you. But nobody followed him. You know, so he was not on the ground. I will continue to say that he wasn't. So he wanted to come, and then with a few, you know, and then
consequential,
and then yes, manipulate, and then think that, you know, things will go as before. We said this time, no, I will not sit down and accept injustice, no matter
That's
how.
why, yeah. I think your case is still there in the Supreme Court, even though it's overtaken by events.
You know, so as far as I'm concerned, let us do justice. If, with due respect to him, if he had gone to conduct excellent primaries like Senator Aisha Binani
in neighboring Adamawa.
Yes, in Adamawa. You know, nobody will query, nobody. In the end, you know, Nuhu Ribadu, you know, say he's not going to challenge it in his Supreme Court.
After making the first attempt.
So why didn't he go there and make sure that proper primaries, you know, is done? I would have been the first person to raise his hand and say, congratulations.
And you will work for him?
Yes.
But did you work for him during the election? Did you work for APC? Or you stayed alone?
I work for APC at the level that I feel that I will work for. Because as far as I'm concerned, you know, Emmanuel Bacha was not a valid candidate of the PTP. I will not work for another party. So you didn't work for the gubernatorial candidate? Yes. I will not work for another party after election to go to court, to come and scuttle all the efforts that we have made.
So you think that even if you had worked for him and he win, maybe another party will take it in court?
Of course, there was no primaries. How will you win election?
So you will not put something on nothing?
Exactly. So that's what we have said. We have said it not once, not twice.
But did you work for NNPP? Because their outing was quite impressive in Taraba this season. Did you work for the candidate of NNPP? Or you asked your supporters to vote for NNPP candidate?
There's nowhere where I sat down and said my supporters go and vote for NNPP. Okay. And there's nowhere I said that I'm going to work. The only party I know is APC. And
but how did NNPP got that far? Because I think they are somehow second.
Yes, my own analysis is that there was protest votes.
Okay.
Against APC, because the way APC came and want to impose a candidate that is not popular. So there was protest. So there were protest votes. As far as I'm concerned, that was what must have happened.
Okay.
You know, it's of concern that a new party,
yes,
that come and has overtaken, you know,
dislodged APC, a whole APC of Mama Taraba of blessed memory, and
APC
Senator Yusuf.
Taraba State. You see, so I'm so concerned. I'm hot too. If not because the National Party did what they did, APC would have been, would have won the governorship. It may be Yusuf, it may not be Yusuf. It doesn't really matter. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, APC had the greatest chance of forming government in Taraba State come 2023.
So the other issue I raised, the fact that Central and the other senatorial, they will not have a shot at the government house in Jalungo. It is still remaining at the geopolitical zone of Darius.
Well, you see, if you could remember, you know, when they were talking about where will the presidential candidate for APC come from?
Yes.
Is it the north? Is it the south? But in the end, what happened? They said, no. The governor said, no, we insist power must shift to the south.
In the spirit of fairness.
Exactly. So in the spirit of fairness, we say power should shift out of Taraba South.
Where Darius Ishaku hails.
Where there, in fact, there are some speculations where Darius also, you know, try to convince people to look into that direction. But it didn't happen.
Well, in fairness to him.
You know, in fairness to him. So the Taraba South has, you know, 80 years, you know, so I thought it is only natural
to move to Central.
To move either to Central or to the North. I'm from the Central.
Yes.
If it comes to Central, fine.
If it goes to the North, fair enough.
But let us do what is right. Let us do what is credible. Let us do what is honor. I think President Babangida said, even among thieves or crooks, there should be honor.
So do you think the PDP governor-elect has the legitimacy, I mean the acceptance of people across Taraba now?
Well, it is a difficult thing to say, you know, until, you know, as time unfolds itself, you know, whether, you know, depending on how the court will handle the situation, you know, I'm made to understand, you know, NMPP has gone to court challenging.
Because they felt that they won the election.
Exactly. So,
but do you think they won? Going by their...
I'm in APC, you know, I think when something has happened, I think APC too protested. You know, there are certain areas that...
But you know, APC came distant third.
Yes, even if you are third, you have your own right, you know, to protest.
Labour Party, PDP at the center.
Exactly.
Challenging
APC. So that's what has happened. But, you know, for one to say that, you know, we are credible candidates, we are popular candidates, we have lost because some people did A, B, C, D, and E, you know, I think it's begging the...
So are you calling for punishment for some people who did a kind of antipathy in Taraba?
The best way to punish a politician is to fail him in election. That is the best way to punish a politician. I'm telling you.
But all of you have been failed now because you didn't get it, Boacha didn't get it, and that is actually the question I wanted to ask. That are you not paid with your vast experience in the Senate? Even Boacha is not a first timer. All of you are now coming back to the National Assembly.
Not that it's painful, but it is a very, very sad story. Sad story in the sense that, you know, if you are building institutions, and each time the institution is having new people coming in, then you are not going to build that institution. I think there are just maybe 33 or 35
of 109.
Of 109 that are coming back. And if you have majority are new ones, maybe there might be some that are coming from House of Representatives, or maybe there are someone that were senators before they are coming again. You know, it's going to be, you know, like a new thing all over again. For instance, when you have such a thing, you know, you have to again sit down. The learning curve will have to be longer again.
Yes, because it will take maybe not less than a year to even put the new legislators to understand the ropes.
Exactly. So that is expected to happen. But probably, you know, if we have people that are knowledgeable enough with a lot of experience, then probably they might shorten up their learning curve. But otherwise, I see that, you know, we might have a pullback a little bit. You know, compared to if, you know, supposing instead of 35, you know, coming back, we have about 75 or 80 coming back. Then you
when the attrition rate is less.
Exactly. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, in Taraba, many of us, you know, lost it. We all lost it. My own take on this, let's go back to the drawing table and build whatever trust that we have lost against one another. Losing an election is not the end of life, you know. Even for the older ones like us, compared to the younger ones, it is not the end of life.
So if I understand, it's like you are calling for a kind of postmortem among you, the politicians in Taraba, to look at where you erred, where you can mend fences, so that to take this step forward?
Of course, whether we like it or not, we have to do that.
In monetary terms, can you quantify the loss in missing people like you in the National Assembly? As you said, you know, almost every state is a casualty now.
Yeah,
Kaduna, look at almost all of them are not coming back. When you go to Kano, you are having brand new ones.
Taraba, only one is coming back.
Yeah.
Adamawa, 2 are coming back. In Borno, I think, you know, only 1 is coming back.
Yeah.
In Yobe, maybe 2 are
yes, Ndume, only Ndume.
Yes.
Tahir is now replacing Senator Habukari.
So in Bauchi, I think, you know, all are new ones, except, you know, probably those who are in either 7th or 6th assembly.
Yes, like Senator Abdul Ningi.
Abdul Ningi.
Yes, they are coming back.
So you find in Kaduna, I think they are all new.
They are all new, yeah.
Kano, maybe only Barao is coming back.
Only Barao, 2 are not coming back.
So Sokoto, maybe we are lucky.
Maybe because we are going for
inconclusive.
Supplementary, yeah.
Yeah. So now with all this, you have to have another, you know, a melting pot coming in to see if you can work together again. So for me, I don't think that will give us a very good way of developing institutions. And again, this one, you know, boils down to the way we imbibe politics. You know, it has become politics of competition, politics of lack of communication, politics of wanting to become, you know, you see, politics is not a profession. It is not even occupation as far as I'm concerned. For you to be a very, very successful politician, you must have your own profession.
Yeah.
But if you say politics is all I hold on to.
That's what breeds do or die
that is what,
disposition.
That's what is bringing all these issues that we have.
I have a friend, a brigadier general, of course retired in the military. I was really shocked when he was telling me what it cost to train an individual to get to that level, brigadier general. When he mentioned I forgot, so I can't mention it, but it was humongous, it was huge. He was talking about how Nigerian authorities are actually retiring officers at their peak and all that, just for political expediency. And that's why I was saying, how much does it cost to now train a senator, for instance, in 4 years? When you look at the training, the experience and all.
It's also no small amount of money, because, you know, the allowances for running the offices, you know, the salary, you know, the experiences, the oversighting, lawmaking, you know, and even, you know, protection of the interests of the constituency is not small amount of money.
It's huge, and we should make amend.
So we should find the best way in which we should have a progression. For me, you know, maybe me, I came from the top.
Oh, you started from the top.
I started as a senator.
You are teaching in the university.
Yes, I started as a senator.
Yeah.
Right away. But probably, you know, because of hindsight, maybe one will have started, you know, as member house of
State Assembly.
State Assembly, then you move to House of Representatives.
And there are some who actually pass through
this.
Yes,
there are some. You will find that those are performing extremely well.
Because of the experience they got.
Because of the experience they got. But somebody who comes from the top like me, you have, you know, your learning curve that you must work harder. That is most of the time, you know, I stay beyond 10 p.m. to learn.
Okay, in your office?
Yes,
even
to
after
learn.
the...
Exactly, to learn. And I make myself available, so humble to my colleagues. You know, I sit down with them, I learn this, I read this, I read that. So if you are not a good person that loves reading, you are not a good person that is humble, you are not, you know, that person.
The National Assembly will pass through you, not you passing through it.
You will not know when things pass.
Oh my God. Finally, because we have run out of time, maybe in less than a minute, what are your expectations? Saturday is the D-Day for Adamawa and other states. And I know you have a stake in Adamawa.
Well, I don't know if I have a stake. The stake is that, you know, I would have, I'm partly Adamawa, but I was born and brought up, my mother was born and brought up in Taraba. So my expectation is that this time, let INEC go and do what is right.
They didn't do what is right the other time?
But why should we have all these infractions? Why should we have all these infractions? You know,
You're talking about the supplementary election, saying there are violence here and there.
Here and there.
So are you hopeful that Senator Binani will make it?
Well, I don't know if she will, but it is hope that, you know, our APC candidate should be able to make it.
All right, thank you very much,
Distinguished
Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf, Taraba Central, for coming to the program, and we thank you very much for your informed perspective.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers, that's a wrap on today's edition. Do well to join us again tomorrow for another interesting package. For now, bye-bye. I'm Hamza Idris.